regarding the this, and that's it. Okay, which I'm going to installing some sort of third-party libraries or anything like that to work with OOP. We are going to be still writing a valid JavaScript code, but OOP will allows us to organize our code in an objects manner. So from now on, I'm going to be introducing the advanced topics of objects like how to create a constructor function, how to create a factory function, how to create a classes, and all of that kind of stuff. But before we get into all of that nitty gritty, first of all, let me just throw you a mind grenade that to all of that nitty gritty, first of all, let me just throw you a mind grenade that JavaScript is not purely object-oriented language. So JavaScript is a versatile and dynamic programming language that supports multiple paradigms. And by the way, OOP is also, you can call it like a paradigm or model or style of writing your code. But anyways, so it supports multiple paradigms including procedural and functional. So in this course, we are not going to be learning about a functional programming in JavaScript because it requires a knowledge of mathematics, and I know it will confuse a lot of people. So maybe I'm going to make a separate course on that, but we're not going to be discussing functional programming in this course. So JavaScript support like procedural, functional, and also the object-oriented programming. But while JavaScript is not purely object-oriented language, like Java or C++, it provides the tools and features to implement the OOP concepts effectively. Okay, so what are those features and how all of that works? We are going to be learning all of that in this course. So how are we going to be writing OOP, or the object-oriented programming, in JavaScript? So OOP in JavaScript refers to the practice of designing and structuring the codes around objects and in their interactions. It is a programming paradigm that allows developers to model real-world entities and their relationships using objects and classes. So we already know what in the world are objects in JavaScript, but there are still a lot of things that we don't know about objects, like constructors and classes and all of that kind of stuff, which we are going to be learning in this section. So I want you to keep that in mind. Like, JavaScript is not purely object-oriented programming language, and OOP is just a style of writing our code, and it allows us to organize our code by using the objects-oriented programming. So that was just a basic theory about what in the world is OOP and why you should care about that. So enough about the theory, and now let's just write a little bit of code and why you should care about that. So enough about the theory, and now let's just write a little bit of code. I'm gonna create a folder right here, and I'm gonna just give a name of like advanced JavaScript. I'm gonna open this folder by using my Visual Studio Coder right here. If you're using some other editor, so feel free to use that. I'm gonna create 3 files, or I'm gonna open this folder by using my Visual Studio Coder right here. If you're using some other editor, so feel free to use that. I'm gonna create create three files or two files like index.html. In the second file will be app.js, and this file will be totally optional. You don't have to create this file which I'm creating right now, readme.md. And yep, I'm gonna tell you why I create this file in a second, but I'm gonna just play. Well, you should watch my previous courses or the first part of this course. So now I'm gonna just open my console right in here, and I'm gonna just undo. That will be fine. I'm gonna just unduck that right here. So yeah, we are going to be writing our code right here inside our coder, and we are going to be testing the result of our code by using this console log right here. So I'm going to open this as a markdown preview. So now we are going to be talking about what in the world is a this result keyword in JavaScript and why you should care about that. So the JavaScript this keyword refers to the object it belongs to. and it has different values depending upon where it is used. Okay, so like let's suppose if you use, this is just a result keyword like that, you are going to be just writing that this, and that's it. Okay, which I'm going to be showing you in a second. So if you just use this result keyword inside some sort of a object, this result keyword will refer to that same object where you use that result keyword. And if you use it alone, like without any objects or without any, I don't know, without any curly braces or anything like that, so that this result keyword will be referring to the global object. And if you use that inside of function, so it will still refer to the global object. And there is one more thing which is by talking to you in a second, but this is just a beginning. So here we are using the this result keyword by using our method right here. This is going to be some sort of a method, and we are going to be providing an object, and inside that object we would have this method, and inside that method we would have the this result keyword, and we are going to be referencing that this result keyword to something. Come on. Okay, so this result keyword, in this case, we are using it as an object. In an object method, this will be referring to the owner of that method. So I'm going to show you that in a second. But if you use it alone, like without any method, without any functions or anything like that, so this result keyword will be referring to the global object. And now if you use the this result keyword inside some sort of a function, so this result keyword will still refer to the global object or the window object. So that was just a quick theory behind the this result keyword in JavaScript. And now let me just write a bit of code, then you'll get to know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just close the other files right here. And I'm going to just write like console log, and in this case I am going to just first of all write this window object right here. So now if I save that, and here you can see it will now uses this window object. If I expand that, and you are probably aware of this window object if you are coming from my DOM course, like which means like anyway. So here you can see we have different kind of methods and we have different kind of properties on this window object. So this is going to be the main or the heart of our document so what I'm going to do is that now in this case I'm gonna just come in this line out, and I'm gonna just write like this in this case. I mean like this in this case. I'm going to just write this result keyword in this case. You can see it will still gives us this window object right here. Why is that? In this case here you can see we are using the this result keyword outside from anything, like we are not providing any curly braces just like that or anything like that. So in this case the this result keyword will refer to the window object. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So if I save that here, and now let me just compare both of them, then you'll get to know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just log to the console that this result keyword, and I'm going to compare that with the window object right here. Okay, so what do you think will be the result if I save this file? I'm going to save my file right here, and it is giving us true right here because that this result keyword is not is the object. Okay, so in this case that this result keyword is a window object, and we are just comparing both of them. So it is now giving us true value right here inside a console. So I'm going to just come in this line out in both of them. So it is now giving us true value right here inside a console. So I'm going to just come in this line out as well. So what I'm going to do is that in this case I'm going to just write window dot like first, come on, first name or something like that, and I'm going to just provide my first name. And now let me just log to the console this window right here. So if I save my file, and here you can see we already know like it will give us this window object. I'm going to hold control and hit F, and I'm going to just search for my variable which I just created like first name, and there we go. Here here you can see we have this first name variable inside this window object. We are now creating this variable inside this window object right here. So that's why we would be able to access this variable inside this window object right here. So that's why we would be able to access this variable anywhere inside our program. So let's suppose if I just write code like this, if I write a this result keyword, and if I write like last name, and it will be now equals to web dev. Okay, so I'm going to save this file one more time, and I'm going to search for, in this case, the last name. Come on, what the hell am I doing? I'm gonna have to expand there. And now if I just search for the last name, and here you can see it will also work just fine like this result keyword. Here you can see that this result keyword will also allows us to provide our variable into the DOM or to that object which we've just saw a second ago. Are totally just fine like this result keyword and the window. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna just you know what, let me just show you. I'm gonna comment this line out. What the hell, I'm gonna comment this line out. And now let me just give you the example of using the this result keyword in some sort of a function. So I'm gonna just write a function result keyword, and I'm gonna just give a name of like print this or whatever. The name doesn't matter. I'm gonna just return the this result keyword right here. And now let me just log there to the console. But before I do, I'm gonna have to store that in some sort of a variable. Now let me just log there to the console. I'm gonna save my file. And here you can see it will now use us the window object one more time. Now you might be saying like, Hossein, I get it. Like this result keyword will always refer to the window object. But no, not all the time. So here you can see if we use the this result keyword without any functions, without any object or anything like that, that this result keyword will be referring to the window. And if we compare that with the window, so it will give us the result of true right here. And here we also saw like how we are going to be declaring our variable, or how we are going to be attaching our variable to our windows object by using the window dot and the variable name, and also the this result keyword dot and the variable name. You already saw there. And now here I also show you like if you use the this result keyword inside a function, so that this result keyword will on window objects. So I'm assuming that at this point you are totally with me. I'm gonna just place this separate right here. And what I'm going to do is that in this case, I'm going to create an object. I'm going to give a name of like obj. The name doesn't matter. And I'm going to just write like first, or username would be fine. And I'm going to just store my own name right here, like Hussein. There we go. Okay, so this one should be like first name or something like that. And I'm going to just write like a last name, and this one will be set to web dev. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to also create a method inside there, and I'm going to just give a name of like full name, and this method will just print us our full name right here. Okay, so I'm going to remove that and also the name. And now if I just write return of this result keyword, and I'm going to just create an instance of that, and I'm going to just write console res, and it will be now equals to obj.full name. And now let me just console log this res and save my file. So what do you think will be the result of this code? So if I run this code, what do you think will be the result? First of all, I want you to notice that this result